Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. We got the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday in Arizona at 4:25 Eastern. It's a later game on the West Coast, and this is the game preview episode. I'll also do another giveaway. We'll ask a random question in this video. You just have to watch the whole video and answer the question in the comments. Closest answer wins $50 after the game on Sunday. Just check your YouTube replies. And yeah, let's dive into it. Everybody's picking the Ravens, especially after last week, after what we did to the Lions. Nobody's giving the Cardinals a shot in this game. That's obviously scary to go into. Those are usually the trap games. Those are usually the games where it's closer than you think. And I'll give my score predictions at the very end of this video. But we have a big edge. I mean, roster, the way we're playing, everything falls onto the Ravens' favor. There's some interesting wrinkles in this game. Kyler Murray is off the injury report and has been practicing in full. Not saying that he's playing Sunday. We don't know that yet, but I think he physically is able to. It's just whether they want to throw him into that fire and whether the Cardinals think that he's prepared enough since he just came back last week and he's been out a while. Sometimes they want to practice for, a full 2 or 3 weeks before they let him come back into the game. But he could play. Kyler Murray could play Sunday, and that adds a totally different wrinkle to this game. Obviously, we know what he can do with his feet. I'm not sure how he looks right now. He hasn't played in a while. I think that we would still have a massive edge, whether it's him or Dobbs. But Murray provides more firepower, more upside, more explosive play potential. I will admit that. He slings it. He's going to try and connect with their best weapon, our former weapon in Hollywood Brown. He's the face of that receiving core right now. They also have Moore and Wilson, but Hollywood's the guy. Trey McBride at tight end, solid. Their running game took a hit with James Conner. They haven't been running the ball quite as well, and James Conner's still on IR, so he's not going to be playing. So not a lot to fear on this offense. And our defense is playing so well. Best defense in the NFL right now, leading the league in sacks. The Cardinals just don't pose enough of a threat to challenge this defense who's playing so well, who held Jared Goff and the Lions last week to 6 points. So whether it's Kyler Murray, whether it's Josh Dobbs, I just don't think it matters in this game. I'm sure the Cardinals fans may want to see Kyler Murray. Maybe they're ready to move on from Kyler Murray. I'm not sure, but he's better than Dobbs, I would imagine. Not that Dobbs is the worst player in the world, but he just doesn't bring anything to the table that scares you. The Ravens are in prime position on defense to shut this offense down and continue this dominant defensive play that they've had all season long. On the other side of the ball for both teams, it's a similar story. I would say the Ravens offense has not been as consistent as the defense has. So I have more trust in the defense to show up week in and week out and dominate teams than I do the Ravens offense to do what they did last week. But what they did last week was very impressive. Lamar's been playing incredible pretty much all season long outside of a few turnovers here and there. But everyone else is stepping up too. And when everyone's stepping up and Lamar continues to play at the level that he's playing at, I don't know how you shut this down. But the Ravens, just a few weeks ago, have been known to kind of underperform. We were dominating Pittsburgh, and we only scored 10 points because no one could catch the ball. Or the Colts game 2 weeks before that, our offense was extremely sloppy, fumbling all the time. So am I predicting the Ravens offense to do that again? No, absolutely not. I thought we would dominate the Colts. That's the shock of it, is like you come into these games like this Cardinals game and you're so confident and you're like, oh man, we just destroyed the Lions. Like basically this offense should do it again. We should kind of have the similar game to what we had last week again. And that may happen. But we could also be in a nail biter and be sloppy on offense. So the defense has all the trust in the world, in my opinion, because they've really not had a bad game. And the offense is earning our trust, week after week. But last week was a hell of a start. And if we can even do most of that, we're going to dominate again. The Cardinals defense is not playing at an extremely high level. They do have Budda Baker. He's definitely a problem. I love Budda. I love his game. I think that he's an incredible safety and can be moved around the field and just do a variety of things. But when you look across the board, I think our receivers have an advantage versus their cornerbacks. I think our offensive line has an advantage over their defensive line. I think we'll be able to run the ball. I think we'll be able to throw the ball. I don't really see them shutting our offense down. And that leads us to the question of the day. How many yards receiving will Zay Flowers have? Zay Flowers has been our most consistent performer. Maybe Mark Andrews, but he missed a game. So I'll say Zay Flowers, week in and week out, is very involved in this offense and kind of never disappears. So he's our most consistent guy, him and Mark Andrews now. So how many yards will Zay Flowers have in this Arizona game? Is he going to have his go-off game over 100-plus yards and just kind of have a dominant performance, or does he keep chugging along and doing what he's doing? Drop a comment with your answer. Closest answer wins. You can go over, you can go under. It doesn't matter. And I'll send the winner $50 after the game. Just check your YouTube replies. Good luck, y'all. So the story of this game for me is, can this Ravens offense start to stack games and really put on dominant performances? We saw that in 2019 once they got going, about mid-season, just like this. Once they got going, it was week after week. It was just dominant show after dominant show. And that could happen. That could definitely happen. If we go out there, light the Cardinals up, we got a couple weeks here. Because in London, I thought they looked great. I know we kicked 6 field goals and we didn't convert in the red zone. But the offense was moving up and down that field. And then last week against the Lions, the offense is moving up and down that field. We're just scoring touchdowns instead of kicking field goals, and we score on our first 4 drives. If we come out and put a dominant performance out again, I think this offense can really hit a stride that is special and pretty much impossible to stop as long as everyone's out there and we're stacking these games and showing up consistently. It's another story of just don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't have turnovers. Lamar needs to hold on to the ball. We need to make sure we're not fumbling on the handoff exchanges and things like that. Don't turn the ball over. Don't make those mistakes. And this game should be ours handedly. There's no reason that Arizona should win this game. I don't care if Kyler Murray's back or not. The Ravens should win this game. We need to start stacking games. We need to get to 6-2. We need to pull away in the AFC because we have the roster and the team to do it. There's no reason to underperform. So I got the Ravens winning 34-13. I think we put on another dominant performance. I don't think the game's ever really that close. I just think that we don't put up 50 plus just because I don't think we're going to be in that type of game where we need to score that often. I think we'll probably get a little conservative. We might sit Lamar again in the fourth quarter like we did against the Lions, and that obviously pulls the numbers down overall. I just think we start running and get a little conservative in the second half because we have a lead. But this game is for the Ravens to win. I mean, there's no reason that they should lose this game. I don't care who's playing at quarterback, because if Murray's just coming back, he's going to be rusty, and he's facing the best defense. It's a hell of a position for him to be thrown into. And then on the flip side, Josh Dobbs facing the number 1 defense in the league ain't going to go well either. So I just don't see a way the Cardinals win this game unless the Ravens go back to the sloppy offense and start turning the ball over and things like that. I don't foresee that happening. I think we do start to stack games here. I have confidence in this team and what they're building, and I don't even think we've seen close to the peak yet, and that's scary. We're also very healthy coming into this game. The only player I think is going to be out is Marcus Williams, possibly Keaton Mitchell too. He just came back to practice, but I know the hamstrings are a little funny. I don't know if they throw him back out there right away or not, but regardless, were pretty healthy. Marcus Williams is out, but Geno Stone has been stepping up tremendously and has 4 interceptions on the year, which is just crazy. But let me know what you guys think. What's your score predictions? Hopefully you heard the giveaway question. Drop your comments below. And as always, guys, I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Go Ravens. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys on Sunday.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.